What's up, everyone? This is the Raw Truth coming at you with a brand new video. And this video is basically, inspired by comments that I have over the years read from black women and concerning men. Excuse me. And, when you hear a lot of men make videos on black women, and I'm saying the vast majority of men that are making videos about black women, about them making better choices, them picking bad boys, and then crying out about the result, after the result that they got was always tend to be bad and terrible. How black women need to love themselves. And even there's videos that were geared towards, well, some videos, but it was a whole hell of a lot of comments that I read when black women make videos on them loving white men. And there was a couple in Asian, but it was basically more white men, and how they big the white man up and stuff, and how they just throw all of this in our face. How they will make comments about that black men are no good, the black man is dead, fuck the black man and shit, and niggas ain't shit, And one thing that I always hear that, it's, to me, it proves that way over the vast majority of black women have no soul in them, is when you hear comments as, oh, he's just, the black man's just jealous, and, all y'all are is a bunch of crybabies, and that, it reminds me of that phrase that black women don't think men should have feelings. I'm gonna say that again. Black women don't think men should have feelings. And I had to really, after hearing that thousands of times on YouTube, I must have heard that 10,000s of times, because I read so many comments. You gotta understand, I am not off in saying tens of thousands of times, because over the years, if you look at it, each video may, that's on for like 3 or 4 years, may have a few hundred comments on there. And if you're going through 30 or 40 videos within 2 or 3 months, and you add 100 times 40, you're going to have 400. So at the end of the year, you might be at 1,500, and you don't even know you read that much fucking comments. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really exaggerating. I'm actually telling you that I read all them comments, and I'm hearing the same phrases. And the same phrase that I always hear is that black men are crybabies. And it lets me understand that, why would black women say that? What will make black women say that? To me, when black women say that, in their mindset, because I like getting to the mind and getting to the heart of it. When black women say that men are crybabies, that's the ultimate, to them, disrespect and the ultimate emasculation. Because black women think to themselves, if a man has feelings, then he's weak. If a man cry, then he's fucking weak. Oh, he's a pussy. Fuck that nigga. Look at him crying. Look at him crying. So black women, I don't think well, I think that they don't think that we should have any feelings, that we should be able to take everything and not show any any emotions, not show any kind of verbal or nonverbal emotion. They don't think that we should be having those type of feelings and stuff. And it dawned on me, that's how we boys was raised by our mothers. That's what how us boys were raised by our own mother. You know, when they took a belt, took extension cords, took anything that they have, and beat us like crazy. And the more we cried, the more they went on, until we had to learn and come up with a defense mechanism in us to try not to cry when we get beat. We've been conditioned as little boys, growing to be young men, then men, to not have any emotions. You know, it's like when a boy is raised in that condition to not have any emotion, what you have to understand is when we can't express emotions, we cannot relieve ourselves from either our depression or something that's oppressing us, and we can't relieve ourselves of pain. We can't relieve ourselves of guilt. We can't relieve ourselves of anything, because crying is absolutely medicine. Crying can keep somebody from acting a damn fool, and I'm going to go into that later. But I want to talk about some of the things that we were taught that we shouldn't have any feelings for. Like I said, growing up, we were beat by our mothers, and we were taught, if you keep crying, I'm gonna give you some more. Keep crying, I'm gonna give you some more. So when you're a little boy, you're taught that if you cry, that it's going to be harder and harder and harder and harder. So you might as well not even cry, because by crying, it means something bad is going to happen to you. So as little black boys, we were taught to suppress our feelings, suppress our emotion, and not show them. What else are we taught? How we're not supposed to cry, we're not supposed to have any emotion. We as little boys running down the street, and all of a sudden, we trip and fall and bust our head on the sidewalks, and we start crying. What do you see our mothers or our grandmothers tell us? Oh, suck it up. Oh, suck it up. This suck it up. It ain't bad. What you crying for? What you crying for? Just get up. So every time we fall, it's in the back of our mind that if anytime we hit, we're feel pain and we hit ourselves and it hurts in agony, that we have to what? Once again, bottle it, put a cap on it, and don't let it out. Don't let it out. Just let it build up, but don't let it out. Don't show that you are in pain, because when you show that you in pain, that means you a weak ass nigga. That means that you're a bitch. That means you're a pussy. That means you're just a lame motherfucker. Don't let it the fuck out. How else are we taught that we're not supposed to have any emotion? When you're growing up, and you were taught to do good in school, be a good boy, go to school, get yourself an education, study, don't be a fucking class clown, and then you're doing the best that you can, and you start seeing the class clown, get better treatment than you and stuff. You may like that girl, and all of a sudden you don't get that girl, and now you're mad, you're feeling of rejection. And what do people say? Oh, suck it up, there's more women in or what was the saying? More fish in the sea. There you go. More fish in the sea. More fish in the sea. Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You keep on hearing that. So, off the bat, as being young men in school, you're being taught that whenever you get rejected, that you shouldn't have any feelings. You know why you shouldn't have any feelings? You shouldn't have any feelings because there's more fish in the sea. So now we're being reconditioned over and over again. It's a lifelong lesson of being reconditioned to hide our pain and hide our agony, hide our rejection. And so now you're being you're being in public and stuff like that, or and black woman or some stupid ass nigga roll up and start talking shit on you and start to degrade you and stuff, and they're saying all kind of things that hurt you and stuff, and you're looking at that and you are angry at that, and people is telling you, oh, just go, words can't hurt. Well, if words can't hurt, then why the fuck is people talking shit to fucking hurt you? Because they know words can hurt. So we have been taught as boys growing up that whatever people say about you, just ignore it. Just ignore it. It'll go away. Just ignore it. You don't do nothing simple. Don't do nothing stupid. It's okay. Just ignore it. Now we're being taught that we should ignore somebody who is coming at us. We should ignore somebody who is insulting us with words and stuff like that. And over a period of time, from childhood all the way up to us being little boys, we have been taught to suppress everything that will make us or free us from the things that we should be reacting to. Every single time when you look at it, we are just taught to hide everything. And so now we have the so-called gender war, which I don't call a gender war. And the reason why I don't call it a gender war is because the black man is not warring with the black woman because he hates the black woman. The vast majority of black men absolutely love the black woman, because if not, we would kept silent. If not, we wouldn't say shit to correct them. What's going on in our community is that black men it's reached a boiling point. When you suppress your little children's feelings, black woman, listen, because remember, 74% of homes, and that's growing, and this will hit 80% next year. I'm telling you, it will hit 80% next year. You're hearing it from the raw truth. It will hit 80% next year. But right now, 74% homes are ran by single mothers, and these mothers who are taught their little boys to oppress all kind of feelings, that's one of the biggest reason why we have so many manginas and so many punks in our neighborhoods, because they have been taught and been conditioned to suppress their own fucking feelings. They're not allowed to act out. Now, what I mean by acting out, what I mean by that is, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about shooting guns in the air or putting a bullet in your ass or anything like that. Don't get me wrong, I'm gonna get to that in part 2. But what I'm telling you about by acting out is, black boys were not allowed to cry. Young black men who put up through torture and torment in these schools was not allowed to even show that he's been hurt. So he's been growing up all this time understanding his fucking feelings is not worthy. His fucking feelings is not, it's not taken in consideration. And so what we have here is a bunch of little boys growing up to be young men, growing up to be men who don't even see themselves worthy, but everybody else do. That's why you being a simp? Well, that's developing and raising a simp. I'm going to come back to part 2 and explain more. But and I'm gonna. This is only some of the small breakdown of it, but I got absolutely more, and it's going to explain why a lot of men, some men who is good, who was good boys, who was trying to struggle to be good young men, are now starting to snap a little. And I'm gonna explain what the snap word means. I'll come back with part two. Peace.